Alright, what is going on, everyone? If you guys don't know, there's a thing going on YouTube right now where, you know, every Jeeper, not every Jeeper, but a lot of Jeepers are, you know, calling each other out and having them tell their, you know, Jeep story. So it kind of inspired me a little bit, and, I don't know, I figured it'd be kind of fun to do with the Crown Vic here. You know, to tell your Crown Vic story and, you know, kind of how you ended up at a Crown Vic, or, you know, whatever your story is with them, you know. So, you know, I'm not taking credit for starting this. Whoever started the whole Jeep thing, this is all them. Like I said, they inspired me to do it. So, you know, whoever started it, props to you. You know, I'm not taking any credit for any of this. But, I guess we'll start off. My name's Corey, by the way. I don't think I've ever mentioned my name on the channel before, but my name is in fact Corey, in case you were wondering. I've always liked cars since I was, you know, a kid, 4 or 5 years old. I always remember, you know, having little toy cars and, you know, matchboxes and even die-cast cars. I used to have the big die-cast cars. I used to, you know, pretend like I had like a junkyard and, you know, demolition derby and stuff. You know, when you're a kid, use your imagination with, you know, cars or whatever. Pretty much with everything, but for me, it was my imagination was used towards making something interesting with cars. And, you know, ever since I was a kid, I can remember liking cars. You know, you help with my dad and help with my stepdad, you know, work on cars, watch them do the brakes or change the coolant hose, you know, whatever. You know, it's just always been I've always been kind of around it. So, that's how my love for cars kind of started, I guess, just, you know, being a kid. That's how it started. But as I got older, you know, I learned more about cars and kind of how they work and, you know, different things about cars and just overall just cars in general, how, you know, they have different motors and stuff. As I get older, you know, you start playing some video games, you know, you start playing some racing games and stuff. I remember I had Forza 2. Before that I had Midnight Club. I remember I had that on the original Xbox. That was a lot of fun. That was actually Midnight Club Dub Edition. That was a really good game. You know, I've overall just playing games also introduced me even more in the cars. When you play Forza, you can customize them, kind of learn how different mods work, how, you know, camshafts work and stuff. So video games also kind of taught me too how cars work. But, you know, so you have that there. And, I guess the passion never really went away for cars. I've always liked cars, and that's pretty much what I live for. That's what I like, is just cars. I like anything really has a motor in it, to be honest with you, whether it's a plane, a boat, whatever. Forklift, I don't even care. I like anything that has a motor. Things that have a motor are cool to me. But my Crown Vic story started when I was, believe it or not, actually playing GTA. That'd be Grand Theft Auto 5, the most recent one they have out. The Crown Vic in that game is called the Stainier or the Stainer or whatever. But, I mean, I always liked Crown Vics before that. I always thought they were cool, even when I was younger, you know, see the old cop cars and stuff. You know, I think Crown Vics were still, like, new, you know. But, yeah, I always liked Crown Vic. I always thought they were kind of cool, you know. Seeing videos and stuff, I'm like, oh, they're pretty durable. They must go through a lot of cops, you know, do what they do to them. They're a pretty cool car, I guess. I always liked Ford, so kind of made sense. But, I really started to like them after GTA 5, and I remember the first time you go on GTA Online, I don't know if it's still the same now, but I know when you go on GTA Online, one of the first things you do is you pick a car, you know, there's like 10 cars you choose, or whatever it is, and then you have to race Lamar, like across Los Santos or whatever. It's been so long, I don't even remember. And, you know, I remember I'm going through the car selection, I couldn't really find anything that really, like, caught my eye. I was like, I don't really know what kind of car I want to use to race them. And I remember I saw the Stainier pop up, and I was like, you know what, I think I might pick that car. I'm like, I think overall that's just going to be a solid car to use for the race. I'm like, I feel like I'll have a good chance using that car. And then I don't know, I really fell in love with Crown Vics, you know, after that point. For whatever reason, just that car in that game, I remember, like, doing missions, and it would just get work done, and I don't know, it was just, even though it's a fictional car, even though it's based on a Crown Vic, it's still not really a Crown Vic, it's some fictional car. It just really, I don't know, it made me like him even more than what I already did. And at the time, I had a blue Oldsmobile Sierra. I still have my first car, which is a 1992 Oldsmobile Sierra. It's white with red. Yeah, I have a few videos on my channel, you can check it out. But I also had a blue 1993 Oldsmobile Sierra. Oh, it's almost the same as that car, almost identical. It's except for the paint job's different. It was blue interior. That's pretty much it. Same rims, same everything. There's nothing different on that car. So, you know, I had that for a while. I was using that. It started giving me some issues. That car kind of had a hard life. It had been through a lot. By the time that I had gotten it, it had like 150,000 miles on it. It was getting kind of tired. It ran good and stuff, but I wouldn't trust it on real long distance driving, you know what I mean? I want to go further than like Philadelphia or something. I'm in New Jersey, so anything further than like Philadelphia, I was like, you know. In fact, one time going to Philadelphia, I blew a coolant hose, so there you go. But, you know, it wasn't a bad car, but it was just, I was tired of putting like money into it for a car that like was just older and it just started to get rust on it. So I started to look at cars. I was trying to figure out what I wanted. And I had the Crown Vic was on the radar. You know, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted. I wanted something different, unique. I didn't want like a Honda Civic or something. Nothing like that. I wanted something that was like different and stood out. So, you know, Crown Vic was something that stood out, obviously. And I remember I looked at a whole bunch of stuff. I was actually going to buy a hearse. I was looking at hearses. I'm like, how cool would that be driving around a hearse? But I'm glad I didn't. They're not really practical at all. You got no back seat. It's, you know. So, but I thought about getting a hearse, believe it or not. What else I think about getting? I thought about getting like a Jeep before I had the Jeep now. I thought about getting a Jeep. I always wanted a Jeep. You know, I have a lot of stories, a lot of memories when I was a kid. My cousin used to have a Jeep. He had a Jeep Wrangler, and we used to off-road it. And that's kind of why I really got into off-roading, was because of him, pretty much. But that's a whole other story. That'd be my Jeep story if I got elected for one. That'd be my Jeep story. But for what I was looking for, I wanted a car that was going to be a good daily driver, something reliable, something somewhat quick. You know, I kind of wanted a car that's going to check off maybe in every category, but not really master anything. So I'm looking around for cars, and then, like I said, once I started playing GTA, I really fell in love with Crown Vic. I was like, oh my god, I'm like, I think that's the car that like I want, you know. So I started looking heavily into Crown Vics. I didn't necessarily want a police interceptor model when I was looking at one. I was going to get like either a Grand Marquis or just a regular Crown Vic. I didn't really care if it was a police interceptor at the time. I'm glad I have one now. I'm glad I ended up going that route instead of getting just a regular civilian model. But at the time, I was really looking, you know, for anything else besides Crown Vics. I still would look for some other stuff, maybe some trucks or whatever, but not as heavily as I was for a Crown Vic. There's a plane going. And I browsed for a while on Craigslist. I mean, I was on Craigslist every day for 8 months, 9 months. It was a long time. I was really on there trying to find the right one that I thought was going to be the one, you know. And I ended up coming across this. It had 81,000 miles on it. The ad was like, oh, you know, good Crown Vic, whatever. You know, it's a traditional Craigslist ad, you know. I saw the pictures. It looked dirty. Like, I remember the interior was all dirty in it. There's some wires dangling. And I was like, all right, well, I'm like, it may have some electrical issues. We'll have to check it out, whatever. So I think the next day I ended up calling the person. I was like, hey, listen, is there any way, you know, you can hold the car for me? I'm not off to work till Thursday. You know, can you just hold the car? I want to look at it. I'm really interested. And they're like, oh, you know, I don't hold the car. You know, I've been played too many times doing that, but whatever. You know, the normal stuff people say over Craigslist. And I was like, well, hopefully you still have the car Thursday. If you don't, then, you know, thanks for your time. Hopefully I'll just end up finding another one. Well, I don't know if it was destiny or my luck. I don't know what it was, but after I had called them later that night, and like the next 2 days afterwards, it was like 2 days, I think it was, it rained and it rained and it rained and it rained. It was, I mean, there's people in canoes going up and down my street. You know, it was, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but you get my point. There was a lot of rain. It was like thunder showers, rain for like 2 days straight. And, you know, no one wants to buy a car when it's raining, you know what I mean? It's, who the hell wants to crawl under a car? You can't really test drive it, you might slide out or something, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to test drive a car in the weather. I mean, I guess you can if you're really that dead set on it, but. So, I called them on Thursday, I was like, hey, so I got the car available, I'm so interested. They said, yeah, I still have it, no one else is really, like, I've had a couple people call me, but no one's come over to look at it. I was like, perfect. I'm like, can I look at it today? They're like, yeah, come on over. So I went over there, looked at the car, and I didn't fall in love with it right away. You know, I was looking at it, just making sure it was a decent car. I saw the wires dangling. I checked a lot of the buttons. They didn't work. I just figured a lot of them was plug and play. I figured a lot of things were disconnected, and I ended up being right. A lot of the stuff ended up just being disconnected on there. So I got to check the time because for whatever reason, if anything over 15 minutes, my computer won't accept, like it says something happened or whatever, so I have to make sure it's, I'm not gonna edit the video, but at one point I might have to turn it off, turn it back on, that way, you know, it doesn't, I can actually upload the video. But, so I ended up, you know, looking at it, I saw the, you know, everything looked pretty solid with it, I really couldn't find anything wrong, no rust, I mean, no rust, I mean, it's cleaner than it is now, and right now it's still pretty clean, so it was clean. I was actually a little worried it was a sandy car, because the floors are almost like a salty, like they're really dirty, and like it looks like someone had gotten like sand and salt all in it. And at first I thought it may have been a sandy car, but the undercarriage just looks so clean. I'm like, well, if it was a sandy car, why is it so clean? So I ended up taking it for a test drive, and I remember I took it for the test drive. It was just like, I just fell in love with it during the test drive. I really did. I fell in love with it. I remember just hearing the motor, you step on it, it's like, wah, you know, just hearing that motor. I remember like the power delivery. You gotta think, I went from like a Oldsmobile Sierra that like old people drive to like, you know, a somewhat quick car. I mean, I guess not that fast, you know, minivans now are pretty much just as fast, but for me, it was, you know, it was fast for me, you know. So, you know, I go back or whatever, and I just bought it. You know, I just told them, like, listen, I'm interested, I like the car. They wanted $3,900. I told them, I honestly, I probably could have went lower now that I think about it, but I literally just told them, like, listen, I'm like, I'm just gonna give you my top offer right now. I'm like, I don't even want to negotiate with you. I'll give you $3,200. You either take it or I'm not gonna buy it. They're like, all right, $3,200, it's all yours. So who knows? I maybe could have got it in like the 2000s, maybe like $2,800 or something. But you know, $3,200, I guess, for an 80,000 mile car isn't that bad, you know. And you know, I drove it home. That was quite the story driving home. I ended up getting pulled over. Car ended up getting impounded because I didn't have it insured or anything. I had to go to court a few weeks later, whatever it was. So I think I actually explained that in one of my other videos. But yeah, that was quite the adventure too. So that's, you know, that's how my Crown Vic story started. Was you know, finding one on Craigslist after falling in love after playing GTA 5. That's pretty much how I really fell in love with Crown Vics. And then after that point, it just snowballed. Then I started learning more about them and learning even more of the common problems and talking to other people and see what issues they have, or you know, how many miles they have in their car, just, you know, whatever stuff, you know, meet new people. And you know, the Crown Vic community is a pretty good community. You know, there's a really good group of guys that are really smart, know how to work on cars. You know, they're really great. And I'm really happy to be a part of the Crown Vic community. I'm also happy to be part of the Jeep community too, you know. It's, I obviously don't have a big following on YouTube with my, you know, as like a Jeep channel, but, you know, it's meeting people in the woods and stuff. There's so many Jeepers, so many things you learn, you know. And it's been a great car so far. I don't ever regret doing anything. Yeah, I mean, I really don't regret anything with it. It's you know, I'm really happy I ended up buying one. You know, it helped me start a YouTube channel. Obviously, I don't have that many subscribers, but you know, I definitely get more views with this than I would if my, you know, a 92 Oldsmobile Sierra. You know what I mean? It's a car that people are somewhat interested in. There's some of it, I don't want to say a cult following, but there's people that really enjoy Crown Vics. You know, and it's, I don't want to be known as a Crown Vic channel. I want to be known as a car channel, but it's definitely helped me become more of a car channel without a doubt. Because when I first did my channel, I did like video games and Crown Vic stuff, and the Crown Vic stuff always got way more views than the video game stuff. I mean, I would do a video game channel, but I don't want to do like, you know, playthroughs and stuff like that. I'm not really into that. If I did like a YouTube channel, it'd be more like rants, because there's so many games I can rant on. But I don't know, it's like I said, I really don't regret it at all. I really love the fact that I still own this car. I mean, I've kind of thought about selling it, you know, here and there at points, but I mean, I still have it now. Ultimately, I never made that decision. So I mean, if I don't have this car forever, then I'm sure there'll be another point where I'll own another Crown Vic, or the ultimate dream would be to be on a Mercury Marauder. I've always wanted to own one of those, so you know, maybe one day I'll buy a Mercury Marauder or something when I kind of have the finances for one. But you know, I've also wanted to build a Crown Vic. Not necessarily build it to be like a race car. I've always wanted to build a Crown Vic and make it like off-roady. I've always wanted to put like a lift on it and tires and, you know, whip them around. I've seen a few videos on YouTube of Crown Vics like lifted and stuff, and I think they're cool. I like them. I think they're badass as hell. I actually thought about that before there's even YouTube videos on like lifted Crown Vics. I thought about that for a long time, but you know, I guess I wasn't the only one that had that idea. I just don't have the money for it, so I wasn't the first one to do it. But I don't know. Hopefully this is something that will kind of gain some traction here with the other Crown Vic channels. If it doesn't, then whatever. At least I told my story. You guys can kind of hear, you know, why I like Crown Vics and kind of how it started. But as soon as this video uploads, I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna nominate Mr. Random. I'm gonna nominate him as a person that I want to hear his Crown Vic story. Now I know he's kind of told, you know, why he likes Crown Vics and stuff, but I want to hear his real story, where it all started, what was his first Crown Vic, you know, kind of go from there. But I'm gonna nominate Mr. Random to tell his story. So after I'm done with this video, because I don't have social media or anything, so after this video, as soon as you see it online, I'm going to go right to his last video, the most recent video he uploaded, and I'm going to comment on it and tell him, hey, listen, I nominated you to tell your Crown Vic story, you know, I'd love to hear it, whatever, and hopefully he responds to it. You know, I've seen he responds to some comments, so hopefully he responds to it. But anyone that watches this video, go on his YouTube channel and like my comment. Like my comment, and or even subscribe. I'm not subscribed, but we'll subscribe to him too. But just comment in the section, be like, hey, listen, you know, Silver Ridge Ramblin' nominated you to tell your Crown Vic story. Try to get as many people. Just comment the hell out of his video. That way, you know, we get his attention here. And hopefully he makes a video. If not, then, you know, it's not a big deal. I understand he's a much bigger channel than me. I'm really small compared to him, so he doesn't have to waste his time on a small channel like this. But you know, that's pretty much my Crown Vic story. And feel free to tell yours. Like if you have you know, a Crown Vic or whatever, you don't even have any videos, you know, maybe post a video, tell your story. It doesn't have to necessarily be one person, but I'm nominating one person. You can, you know, he can nominate 20 people if he wants, whatever. I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't really know what else to say. That's my story. You know, any questions or whatever, you know, comment down below. I'll answer whatever I can, you know. I always try to answer whatever comments. But that's pretty much it. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And like I said, go to Mr. Random's video, his last video, because I'm going to comment on it. And just spam the comment section. Like my comment and spam it. Let's get him to make his Crown Vic story. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video, and take care.